behind the fruit of faith. Our fame spread far and wide. With hearts of joy, we sing of peace, stand firm in truth and honesty. Gold and white for excellence, academies with godliness, building leaders, all in faith for all endeavors. The future holds, forward we go in good faith. God is our help, our guide, we shall never fail. Forward we go in good faith. God is our help, our guide, we shall never fail. Amen. 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 Oh, amen. 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 Peace and you.
Okay, so very good morning to you, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us today on our special friendship session. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How was your rest? How's your morning coming along this morning? Okay, so on this special session, we are just strictly going to be taking questions that you would need to ask, questions that bothers you as regards friendship. You know, the last time we had this conversation on our trim session on accountability, reflections, and finance management, a lot of people requested that we have a session on friendship, and that's why we are having this session right now. So we'll just be taking questions basically at this point. Let's take questions. So let's take questions already, right? We'll be taking questions at this time for everyone who have questions as regards friendship, right? We'll be taking questions right about now. So we'll be here just to take your questions, right? Like I said, there are not going to be any slides. We're not teaching today. We just want to answer questions in detail and share experiences that would help us with our friendships moving forward, right? So it's not a session where okay there'll be a lot of teachings or slide presentation. No, we're just going to take questions that really bothers you as regards friendship, and then we'll tackle it, right? So who wants to be the first to ask their question? By the way, has anyone listened to the EP yet on Thoughtful Deceit? That's a very beautiful EP. I encourage you to listen. The link was shared on the WhatsApp channel already. So if you have time, listen. 2 tracks, less than 10 minutes for both of them. So you can listen and share your feedback on what you gained from the 2 spoken word pieces on thoughts and deceit. Okay, so let's begin with the first question. Oh, somebody said I love thoughts. Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yes, thank you. Totally unrelated, but thank you for sharing, right? Thoughts is amazing. Deceit is amazing. Those 2 collections are beautiful. Thank you for listening, Sammy. Thank you for also sharing your feedback. Now, this is our L300 t-shirt back in the day, so you know we've come a long way. I just saw it today. And like, oh, I need to rock this shirt again. It's been a while. So thank you so much for that. So let's take questions on friendship that we have that may have bothered us before now. You know, some people say fake friends and BIU students are 5 and 6, right? So let's talk about it. Share your opinion, share your questions, share the things that bother you about friendship on campus, and we'll be able to answer those questions for you, right? So that's why we're here. Let me let you see the shape properly. So yeah, Opatia, that's our L300 design back in the day. Yeah, I'll just leave it like this so that everybody gets to see it and know that we used to do things back in the day and we still do. So let's take questions. Basically, I want to take your questions that you have regarding friendships, whatever it is. Let's take those questions right about now for the time that we have to be here in our faces. Compliments of the season, like we said, this is a special session. There are no attendance whatsoever. It's just for people who feel like they need to talk about friendship and how they can improve and better their friendships, right? So that's why we're having this session. So I'll be here to take your questions. I wish I could play something at the background, but let's just focus on this, right? So thank you for your feedback. What Sammy says they love thoughts. Thank you for listening. So please listen to the EP, share your feedback, share with your friends, share with your families. Just share, right? It's 10 minutes, 10 minutes for both tracks. You would enjoy it, right? You will enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Okay, so who wants to ask the first question? So we'll start off from there. I really want to take questions. I will restrict myself not to teach anything, but just answer questions because there's a lot that I could teach on this conversation, but not yet. I would just take questions because that's the whole idea for this conversation, to take questions. So who's asking the first question? Let's get it off from there, and then we'll continue the show. So while I'm waiting for questions to come, I think I'll just play thoughts in the background since somebody said they like thoughts. While I'm waiting for your questions. Your heart, and I wait for you. See my head for you. I know go let you go. I know go break your heart. I wait for you. Thoughts. Alone in the confines of my room, besieged by sadness and gloom. I believe that it would have been good if we have our questions ready before today. But even if you can just ask the questions off your head, so it's easier. Like I said, I would try not to teach anything today, but just take your questions. So if there are no questions, you're going to make this session a little bit somehow because there are no questions. Because the whole idea for this conversation today is not to teach, but to take questions. Because I understand that when people have questions about friendship, it's important to you that you help them gain clarity to the questions that they have, right? That would help them do better with your friendships than just teaching about friendship all over again. I have several podcast episodes on friendship. I have several teachings on YouTube on friendship, but this is just a session to take your questions. And interestingly, it was requested by you guys. You said you want us to have a special session on friendship. So it's important that now that you're here, please get the show on the road by asking your questions. No matter how it is, just ask, right? If you had friendship experiences, difficulties with friendship, you had to cut off on some friends, you have to burn some bridges, talk about it, right? Put it in the comments. We would analyze it together and be able to arrive at a conclusion for you, right? So it's not a session where I get to teach, right? It's just a session where we get to gist, we get to talk about friendships, the things that happen. Have we had good experiences with friendship? Have we have not so good experiences with friendships and all of that? So it's more of that kind of session, and a session where there will be slides, there will be presentations. Like I said, there's not going to be any slide today. There's not going to be any presentation today. It's just about the questions that you have and that you want us to talk about. So those of you who have joined me, thank you so much for joining. Hi, good morning. Thank you for being here. Success, thank you so much for being here. And again, Sammy, thank you again for listening to Thoughts, right? Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to Thoughts. So who's asking the first question? So who's asking the first question? I know once one person begins, others will follow. So who wants to lead the change right now when it comes to asking questions? Who wants to be the one to set the ball rolling? Right. Thank you so much for joining, Annabelle. Thank you for joining. Yeah, today we're talking about friendships, and we want to take questions that people have as regards their friendship. If they have had difficulties, if they had amazing friendships, if they had friendship they had to regret, any of those questions, feel free to ask those questions, and we'll gladly give you responses to those questions that may have bothered you before now, that may have caused you to regret or whatever it is they may have done to you. Let's ask those questions and then let's get this conversation rolling. So, who's going to be the first to begin? Who's going to be the first to ask a question? Like I said, there are no right or wrong questions, they're just questions, right? So don't feel like, oh, my question may be too off, my question may not make sense. No, it really doesn't count. Just ask your question. Is your question is something that bothers you, is something that you feel you want to get clarity on? So ask, right? I would do my best to prefer solution to the questions you may ask, but also I'm not going to be teaching today, right? I'm not going to be teaching on this session. Like I said, this is not a teaching session. This is a session for question and answer. So remind your friends, remind your colleagues, all of you who said, oh, you want the special session for friendship. The session is here now. We're waiting for your questions, right? We're waiting for your questions. Once the questions come in, we will start properly, right? We're just waiting for questions. And it's a long wait for me because I believe by now you'd have had your plethora of questions to just be firing on the comment section from back to back to back. So let's ask those questions, guys. Let's ask those questions. So who's going to be the first to ask their question this morning? Right? Who's going to be the first to ask their question this morning? Because this is why we came here this morning for this conversation, right? Yeah. So I'm waiting. Who's going to be the first to ask a question this morning?
Engulfed in so much pain. See my hand, I no go let you go. I no go break your heart. I dey wait for you. See my hand for you. I no go let you go. I no go break your heart. I dey wait for you. Oh yeah. Thoughts. Alone in the confines of my room, besieged by sadness and gloom, round about like a cloak, deep in thoughts, like a pin drop in the Atlantic, engulfed in so much pain like the thrashing Netherlands made it out on Spain. To what end is this? I begin to sound like Shakespeare, but my heart's been pierced with a sharp spear. The word from a beloved leaves behind nothing but tear and wound, sweet and sour, all in a split second. For the records, this wasn't the maiden edition. So I wonder, is this real or fiction? They say trust is key, focus is the look. But this happened again. I guess I ran out of luck. How can it be explained? Like a copied assignment, unexplainable. Memories fade so fast like a horse. I believe there won't be any more of us. I tried all methods to make it work. I even took it to God. But the more I tried, the more rebellion was God. This wasn't the path we agreed to walk. Then I realized I had been on this journey alone. You were just there waiting for the right time to be gone. See my hand, oh yeah, I go let you go. I go break your heart. I wait for you, oh yeah. See my hand, oh yeah, I go let you go. I go break your heart. I wait for you. Perplexed and depressed, I wonder, what have I done wrong? Yes, I admit we sometimes quarrel, even doves do pickle. But show me any true friendship without any misunderstanding. A I'd show you a fairy tale that even Walt Disney won't produce as a classic. Back to the statistic. I wish there was a magic fix or a magic wand or a genie or anything to make this pain go away. But alas, the pain in Dracula's voice, this is where I'm gonna stay. You wanted her, you're getting this. They say time heals all wounds, but this pain seems to last forever. I wish I never had to go through this. This is just me and my thoughts, hoping that it is not real. My heart is so hurt. It seems like I'm forgotten yet. They say it may just be a blessing in disguise, and for me to become wise, all in my thoughts. But this pain I truly feel hurts. Truth sometimes hurts. Hurts always heal with time. Can't believe I am a fool again. But we are all fools to what we truly believe. In thoughts, time seems to stand still, like mannequin devoid of thinking or expression. I'm wailing and yelling for help. No one seems to notice. I'm surrounded by people, yet I'm alone. I'm down 911, I'm placed on hold. I suffer from excruciating pain untold. This is crazy.
Okay, so the questions have started coming in finally. Finally, the wait is over. Okay, so Stephanie asked the first question. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for bailing out everybody. Yes. Stephanie says, when is it right to call quits on a friendship? When is it right to call quits on a friendship? Very simple. You know when it's right to call quits on a friendship when you see that this friendship is not making any progress. After you've put in all the effort to make adjustments, to call everybody to order, to remind everybody that this is what is happening, and it seems like nobody is making any effort to make changes, that is the time to call it quit on that friendship. Yes. So when you've done all you could and you've informed the people that you're in friendship with of the things they need to also do so that this friendship would work, and they insist on not doing anything, then I think it's safe to say you can call that friendship quit at that point, right? So yes, that's the point where you call it quit. When you realize that the people you're in friendship with will no longer do anything to keep the friendship. Because friendship is a two-way street, right? You're doing your role, they're playing their role, right? Scripture says in Amos 3:3, it says, can two work together except they agree, right? So the same with friendship. There must be the agreement, right? The two people involved or the persons involved in the friendship must all contribute their quota. But when you realize that you are the only one contributing your quota and everybody else is just doing whatever they like, then it's time to call it quits in that friendship, right? And it's not a bad thing if you call it quits in a friendship. It's not a bad thing. It just shows that this is the end of the road. It does not mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that they are bad people. It just means that you guys can proceed no further, right? And it's okay. It's okay, right? There's something that I want to read out to you guys. It says that a lasting friendship is a living tapestry woven with threads of time, trust, laughter, tears, and mutual choice. It's not about never having conflict, but about always choosing to mend the fabric with care, right? And the most enduring journeys begin with a simple step of connection. So you need to realize that if the people are not pulling their weight, it's okay to let it go. Because you cannot, like they say, you can force the horse to the stream, but you can't force it to drink water. So if people are not pulling their weight in the friendship, it's time to say au revoir. Time to let it go. Thank you so much for asking, Stephanie. And thank you for being the one to break the jinx, to set out the questions rolling. So the next question someone asks is, as their choice, says, good morning, sir. How do we get to know friendship that pretend? How do we get to know friendship that pretend? It's very simple. You know friendship that pretends by how they respond to you when you have good news and when you have bad news. All right? It's very easy. You see, there's a way people respond to you when you have good news, and the way people respond to you when you have bad news. That is a good indicator to know that if they are genuine or they are pretending. And let me tell you this: whenever you have something great going for you, and then your friends are always saying God when, instead of them to genuinely be happy for you, they are saying God when for themselves. That is, like I say, God when is low budget envy. be happy for me. Don't ask God when for yourself. Just be happy for me first. That shows that you are genuinely happy that this is happening for me. But when something's happening for you and then the person is saying, God, when? That gives you a call for concern. And then when you go through your own difficulties and the person is making light of it, that person is pretending. That's not really your friend, because there's a care model when it comes to friendship. I'm going to teach that this evening on my YouTube channel on Friends That Last. There's a care model I discovered, and I will share that in detail during the live this evening. So if you are free, you can join the live by 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the Mr. Outgrade Global channel on YouTube. I'm going to be talking about friendship that lasts. You can be able to see how the care model works. C-A-R-E, care model. It talks about consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. I'll go into details during that session. But like I said, you'll know people that pretend to you in how they respond to your good news and how they respond to your bad news. You'll be able to tell if you're paying attention. If you're observing, you're able to tell people who are genuinely happy for you and people who are pretending. And like I said, when people start to tell you God when you tell them good news, that's low budget envy. That's low budget envy. So you should be careful of such people. Instead of them to be genuinely happy for you, they're saying God when. That's low budget envy. That's something you should be aware of, right? And then when you share good news and when you share bad news and they try to make light of it, that's also somebody who's not genuinely interested in you, right? Thank you so much for asking that question, Choice Osaze. Okay, someone asked a question in Hausa. He says, I have two friends that whenever we are together, the both of them are always having conversations between themselves and leaving me out. Not that I mind, but whenever I'm quiet and on my own, they keep the question continues. Whenever I'm quiet and on my own, they keep telling me I'm killing the vibe of the place. And mind you, they don't include me in the conversations. And I don't know if I'm the problem or it's them. Well, you guys are three persons. Two of them are having conversations. They don't include you. And when you stay quiet, they start to wonder why you're quiet and you're killing the vibe and you're killing the mood, right? You are not the problem. You are not the problem, right? And I can't even say they are the problem. But the thing is this, it just shows that probably your values on some things just don't align. And when it comes to friendship, values must align, right? Values must align, because if the values don't align, then what are we doing? Why are we in friendship if our values are different, right? So if they can conveniently have conversations in your presence and not even get to bring you in the conversation, and then they're also concerned that you are quiet, that's a problem. That's a problem, right? So I think perhaps your values don't align. That's why that's happening. Because let's say, for instance, you are not a football person, and then your two friends are heavily invested in football. There's always not going to be a connection when you guys are having some conversations, because what they will be talking about is something you are not interested in. And what you are interested in is something that they are not interested in. So it's just values that don't align. So I don't think that friendship would sustain for a long haul, right? Because the values are not in sync, right? You see, because when it comes to friendship, we must have similar values. We must have similar values. Otherwise, there will not be the basis for our conversations. Because what I take as important, you may take as trivial. And that, as a way, it also affects us. Are you getting it? So if you don't bring into the conversation, because perhaps your values don't align, and they shouldn't feel you're killing the vibe. You're trying to respect yourself and be quiet, because what you're talking about is not something you want to talk about, or it's not something that you're interested in. So the best you can do is keep quiet and not try to poke nose or bring yourself into a conversation that they clearly did not invite you, right? You must learn to also respect yourself and not put yourself in situations where you are not invited. It makes a lot of sense, right? So I guess the values don't align. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you, Dawsa, for that question. So the next question is from Choice Osaze again. It says, sir, a friend that never gives, but that friend is always collecting and collecting. the friend never agreed that she has, and then you start saying to that friend, are you wrong? So one of the things about friendship is reciprocity, right? Follow me closely. One of the things about friendship is reciprocity. So which means it's more of give and take, not take and take. There must be reciprocity in friendship, right? It's part of the laws for friendship. There must be reciprocity. It's not about, oh, I'm always collecting, and I'm never giving. No, the one who's always giving and never receiving, at some point will get tired of giving. Right? It's only God that never gets tired of giving. As a human being who has emotions, you get tired at some point and feel like, oh, you are being used. Yes, I know I say that the reason why people can use you is because you are useful. Yes, that counts. But nonetheless, friendship is about reciprocity. So when you cannot see people reciprocating what you're doing for them, that's a clue that they don't value the friendship. They don't value you in the friendship. Because friendship is reciprocity, right? And if the friend can't even admit that they are not reciprocating, that also is another red flag. So thank you so much for that question choice. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Gabriel Leslie. Thank you for joining. Okay, someone says, good morning, sir. My question is being friends with older people. What's your take, or should we maybe call it mentor-mentee relationship because of the age difference? A scenario is an older person. Can you give me the scenario, please? Abimbola, can you give me the scenario of this question? Being friends with older people, how do you mean? Mentor-mentee relationship. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. Age difference also happens. Give me the scenario. I'll wait for you to give me that scenario, Abimbola. Good morning, Sendes. Thank you for coming. Okay. Stephanie again says, my supposed bestie only calls me when she wants to collect money from me. Every time I call, she will say she hasn't eaten and bill me. Always the same tactics every time. Is it right to block? Block. Yes, it's block. Yes, block. You know, don't just block. Block and delete. Block and delete. Friendship is reciprocity. If she only calls you when she needs money, she's not your friend. You are just an ATM to her, right? So block and delete. No need to even stress this one. Just block and delete. Block the number, then delete the number. You won't even see it again. Okay, I mean, I'll share the scenario. A scenario is an older person from church who you are cordial with, and you visited each other and you know each other's family members. Am I to call that person my friend or a mentor just because of the age difference? Well, your mentor can also be your friend, though. Yeah, age difference, yes, it's also there for some people, but age difference is really not a yardstick when it comes to friendship. You can have friends with people who are a decade ahead of you. You can have friends with people who are way older than you. It really doesn't affect the friendship. And then as a mentor, that's another level of commitment, right? But then you can also have your friend who is a mentor. It comes down to how you value and respect the person, how you show honor to the person, how you show regard for what the person is contributing to your life, right? So as a mentor, you honor, regard, and value the person. As a friend, also, you still honor, regard, and value the person. So yes, you can be friends with your mentor and you never lose sight of the fact that the person is your mentor. So you still honor, regard, and respect the person, and also know that the person is your friend, right? So you can have a friend who is the mentor, right? So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Abimbola. I hope that answers your question, though. Okay, so Frances Friday says, when a friend withdraws, do I give space or reach out? Now, when a friend withdraws, reach out and let them know that you're always there for them whenever they want to now come out from their withdrawal. Are you getting this? So when a friend withdraws, yes, sometimes some people would need space, which is okay, right? But then reach out to them to let them know that I am still here for you. Should in case you are comfortable coming out and sharing whatever has kept you withdrawn. But I also like to prefer that when it comes to friendship, there should be communication. You don't have to just necessarily withdraw. Scripture says that a friend loves at all times, right? It also says that there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. So for friendship, there should be vulnerability where you're able to share what you're going through without you withdrawing. Now, the reason why sometimes some people withdraw is because they feel like what I'm going through at this time, my friends may not understand. So let me not put them in that mix where they don't understand me. Let me just withdraw. But that is not the best path to follow, because your friends are supposed to be with you through thick and thin. They're supposed to be there for you at your worst and at your best. So if you are withdrawing, you're not giving them that opportunity to be there for you at your worst. And that doesn't make for good friendship. If I'm only there at your good days, then you cut me off on your bad days, doesn't make me really feel like your friend. Because I want to be there for you, your good days, your bad days, your worst times, your best times, right? So when a friend withdraws, reach out and let them know that whenever they are ready to come out from their withdrawal, you will still be here for them. Don't just give them space. Reach out to them. Then you can give them space, letting them know that I'm here anytime you are ready, right? So don't just give them space when they withdraw. First, reach out and let them know that you are here for them whenever they are ready. Does that make sense? Thank you so much for asking that question, Frances Friday. Okay. Abimbola says, another question is this: how to build friendship or relationship with older people? Abimbola, what's with you and older people? Okay, I'm just kidding, right? Building friendship with older people still follows the same path of building friendship, right? And that is still the same part of the care model I said I'm going to talk about much later today. But let me just throw some light here because this question has been asked. Building friendship with older people still follows the care model. And what's the care model? There's consistency, there's availability, there's responsibility, there's empathy, right? This is the care model which I came up with. So probably you won't find it on your ChatGPT or your OpenAI. You won't find it there, right? So with other people, it's still the same model for friendship. Consistency. Nobody wants friendship that is today on to tomorrow off. There must be consistency. In fact, older people value consistency because they've seen a lot of back and forth in their lifetime. So they are not going to give room to people who are inconsistent. So today they are here, tomorrow they are off. They don't have time for that anymore, right? So they will value consistency. They value availability. Are you available? Right? Are you always going to be missing in action? So in building a relationship with older persons or friendship with older persons, they'll look out for these things: consistency. They'll look out for availability. They'll look out for responsibility. How do you take responsibility? Or are you the one who's always making excuses? Because responsibility demands that there will be a form of reciprocity in the things that you do. Right? They will show care to you. They will show concern to you. You should also reciprocate that. There must be reciprocity, right? When it comes to friendship, you shouldn't always be on the receiving end. You should also be intentional to be on the giving end, right? And giving is not necessarily money. Your attention, your words of affirmation, your prayers, those are also part of giving, right? And then empathy, being there at their worst times, being there at their amazing times. Empathy. So with the care model, it's easy for you to build friendship or relationship with older people. Consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. I look forward to this session this evening on Mr. Upgrade Global. I'm going to be telling more details about this so that people get to understand this and be able to build friendship that lasts, because that's the topic for tonight: friendship that lasts. Okay, so thank you so much for that question, Bimbola. Okay, that was said, is well said. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, thank you so much, Bimbola. I saw the other part of the question you were asking. Okay, someone said, I had a conflict with a close friend, and although things have settled down, the friendship isn't the same anymore. Should I accept the change as it is or try to recover the friendship to how it was before? Tejiri. Okay, so yes, for this, I think that people get to evolve, right? People get to change sometimes. And sometimes when this happens in friendship, people always try to say, okay, let's go back to how it used to be, right? As much as how it used to be was amazing, I always like to tell people, you can now decide to build something better moving forward, right? Many times you may not be able to ever go back to how it used to be, but what you can do is decide moving forward to build something better, something meaningful, something significant, right? Because in a bid to try to go back to how it used to be, and you see that that is impossible, you may be tempted to think that the friendship is over. No, it's not. It's not over. It's just that there have been some changes that you cannot go back to how it used to be. So it's best now to say, now we are here. How do we make this even better, regardless of where we were coming from? So I would suggest that you and your friends, you work on making this next phase even better than the previous phase. Because you cannot, in all good conscience, go back to how it used to be. Because when there was a little bit of disagreement, when that conflict came, it affected some things. But now that the conflict is resolved, we will not need to build moving forward, not try to build and going back. Because if you try to build going back, perhaps it may not seem like it used to be. Because what conflict does is that it's just like an egg. Once an egg is cracked, it can never be like how it used to be before the crack. So conflict cracks friendship. But what you cannot do with the crack, instead of looking at the broken pieces, you try to make a masterpiece out of it. That's why I say, let's now build on what we currently have moving forward, rather than trying to hold on to what we used to have. Does that make sense to you, Tejiri? Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so let me take some more questions that we have. Okay, Frances Friday says, is effort something that should be asked for or naturally given? It's two ways, right? It's two ways. In friendship, sometimes you need to ask for effort. See, effort shows that you are committed and intentional about the friendship. Many times, effort is not natural. No, effort is not natural. I will tell you that for free. Effort is not natural. Effort is on the basis of commitment and intentionality. You know, there's this meme that was out there at a certain point where they say, "Oh, you say you are not the calling type. You are not the giving type." But somebody also said, "Is Jesus the dying type, that Jesus had to die for you?" When it comes to friendship, forget the type that you are. Make the effort. You say, "Oh, I'm not the calling type." Make the effort to call. "Oh, I'm not the giving type." Make the effort to give. Effort is what shows commitment and intentionality. So yes, demand for effort. Otherwise, the person is not truly interested in that friendship. Any friendship where you cannot see effort, the person is not interested in it. Because the truth is this, we are all fools for what we truly believe. Go and listen to thoughts, right? We are all fools for what we truly believe. People will make sacrifices for what they value. That is effort. That shows they are committed. Not the best of examples, but Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel. That is effort. That is commitment. That is not naturally given. No, effort is not naturally given. Effort is intentionally given. It's not naturally given. Does that make sense to you, Frances Friday? So yes, effort is something you should ask for. And if it's not given, then the person is not interested in the friendship. It's just plain and simple. Read the handwriting on the wall. It's plain and simple. Does that make sense? Okay. Saint Des says, "Sir, is it possible to feel more like a family more than a friend?" Let me take that again. Is it possible to feel more like a family more than a friend? I really don't get this question. So can you please re-ask this question in this so I understand what you're actually asking? Is it possible to feel more like a family more than a friend? A friend can become like family. Even scripture says there's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother, right? A friend can be more than family. I often say this that always blood. Listen to this. Family is not always blood. Family is about bond, right? So with friendship, there's that bond that you have. You know, scripture says that Jonathan loved David like his own soul. And he went further to say that the love that Jonathan had for David was that the love, it was like the love that a woman had for a man. That's friendship. In fact, that friendship was a covenanted friendship that even when Jonathan had died and David had become king, David said, is there still anyone left in the house of Saul that I may show kindness for Jonathan's sake? And that's where they brought back Mephibosheth, who was lame at his feet. Now, that is to let you know that there are friends that can become like family, because family is not always blood. Family is about bond. Are you getting this? Does this make sense? Okay, great. Thank you so much for that question, Sendes. And if you still want to give more clarity to the question, you can also re-ask the question and I will take it. Okay, Choice says, friends that don't care about you, they always come with issues and then you help them sort it out financially and otherwise. But when you go to them, they just act nonchalant about it and don't even bother to, let me see, the other part of the question is there. They're not even bothered to help out. Then I decided to avoid them, and now they are telling everyone who cares to listen that I take things too serious. And this is not the first time this is happening. It always happens. Please. Okay, let me finish the question before I begin to clap on them. Should I confront them or let them be? Let them be. Don't confront them. Don't confront them. They know what they are doing. Let me tell you what they will do to you when you confront them. They will gaslight you. When you confront them, they will gaslight you. So don't confront them. I tell this to people all the time. Once is a mistake. Twice is a choice. Thrice is a pattern. Now, if you have noticed this pattern with them, this is who they are. Let them be. Don't confront them. Confronting them won't change anything. Just let them be. They know what they are doing. They come to you when they need help. When you need help, they tell you you're taking this too serious. They are not gallant towards you. They are not your friends. They are using you. And like I say, people can only use you because you are useful. But now you should also respect yourself enough to not allow yourself to be overly used. It's best to put yourself in places where you are valued and appreciated than places where you are tolerated. Because these same friends who are treating you like this are valuing other people that are in their lives. Are you getting this? So it's just you that they don't regard. So remove yourself from that mist because you regard yourself, because you respect yourself. Respect yourself enough to not put yourself in situations where you are being disrespected. Because this is disrespect pro max. This is disrespect pro max. You cannot be there helping them, providing counsel for them, helping them out. And then when you have your issues, they are nonchalant towards it. And then when you bring it to their notice, they are playing it down. Come on. They will gaslight you. Just let them be. Don't even try to confront them. They know what they are doing. It's okay. You have learned your lesson. You walk away. Friendship is not by force. Friendship is by choice. Please write that down and never forget it. Friendship is not by force. Friendship is by choice, which means both people in the friendship must be choosing themselves every single day. We choose to do this. This is why we are doing this. It's by choice. It's not by force. Do you get this? Is this making sense? Thank you so much for that question, Choice. Let me go back and see some other questions I may have missed. Oh, Sendes, is it possible to be more like a family rather than a friend? Well, yeah, it's also possible to be like a family, more than a friend, rather than a friend. But if the person is actually not your family member, the person needs to show a lot of commitment to look like family, right? Because becoming family when you are a friend, it shows you are 150% committed, 150% dedicated, 150% invested in that friendship. So yes, it's possible to be more like a family rather than a friend. Yes, it's very possible. It's very possible. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, Stephen says, will it be good to rekindle a friendship with an ex? We are good friends before the relationship. No, it's not. It's not. You don't rekindle the friendship. Don't rekindle the friendship. It's not good. It's not good. Something happened in the process where you became ex, right? It's not good to rekindle the friendship. Move on to the next. Don't go back to the ex. I'll leave it there. It's not good to rekindle it. No, it's not. Move on to the next. Don't go back to the ex. I'll leave it there. So it's not good to rekindle friendship with an ex. Not good. Not good at all. You put yourself in a very compromising position. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, someone says, what if your effort is not being recognized? Effort cannot be hidden. No. If they are not recognizing it, it's because they choose not to. You can't hide effort. There are things you can hide. Effort is not one of them. See, there are things you can hide in this life. Effort is not one of them. You cannot hide effort. You just cannot hide effort. It shows, right? When people make effort towards you, you will see it. No, I like to say for effort, it is visible to the blind, audible to the deaf, felt by the norm. You cannot hide effort. You can't hide effort. So anyone who says they don't recognize your effort is because they choose not to recognize it. But you can't hide effort. If you are truly making effort, it cannot be hidden. It cannot be hidden. No, it cannot be hidden. It just cannot be. You can't hide effort. Thank you so much for that question. So more questions, guys. Thank you so much, guys. You guys just came back to back with the questions. So more questions. So while I wait for questions, we'll go back to play thoughts. Over here, I know go let you go. I know go break your heart. And I wait for you. For you. See my head for you. I know go let you go. I know go break your heart. And I wait for you. Alone in the confines of my room, besieged by sadness and gloom, round about like a cloak, deep in thoughts, like a pin drop the Atlantic, engulfed in so much pain like the thrashing Netherlands made it out on Spain. Okay, so there's another question. So let me pause thoughts. Okay, sir, I'm speculating now. What if the person isn't willing and prefers things as it is now? And do I have to be the one to extend the olive branch? Yes, extend the olive branch. Extend the olive branch, right? Extend the olive branch. But if the person still insists that they would rather maintain it this way without trying to improve it further, then there's nothing you can do. Like I said, friendship is by choice. It's not by force. If they've chosen not to want to improve the friendship because of the previous conflict, then there's literally nothing you can do. Pray for them and go with them at their pace, right? You can't force things to work in the friendship that people involved don't want to work, right? You can't. You can't. I know I say this to people that when things don't work out, you work it out, not walk out, right? But when people decide to walk out, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, when things don't work out, you work it out, not walk out. But when people decide that they want to walk out, there's literally nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Okay. Someone says, how does feelings and emotions affect your bonding with someone? Feelings and emotions can see. Let me tell you this, guys. If you spend time with a person, over time, you start to develop feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotions are products of time spent, whether it's on call, on chats, or on seeing physically. As long as you are spending time, feelings and emotions will start to brew gradually. That's why Songs of Solomon says, do not wake up love before it's time. So if you are spending time with somebody, feelings and emotions will start to affect your bonding. Yes, you start to feel, see, let me tell you the truth. Even somebody you don't like, if you keep spending time with the person, you start to see what you like in that person. Are you getting this? Even with somebody that you don't like, if you keep spending time with the person, because of feelings and emotions, you start to see what you now like in that same person you did not like. So yeah, feelings and emotions can affect your bonding. But beyond feelings and emotions, you must have a clear consciousness. Is this the kind of friend I want? Put feelings and emotions aside. Is this the choice of friendship that I want? Because feelings and emotions are fickle. They are here today, they are gone tomorrow. Right? So you make your friendship based on choice of values, of principles, rather than feelings and emotions. Because you're not always going to be having that feeling and emotions all the time. Are you getting this? So feelings and emotions do affect your bonding with someone. Yes, it does. When you're spending time with somebody, you start to develop feelings and emotions for that person. You will. You will. That's why when people say, oh, we are just texting, nothing serious. Really? Really? Continue texting. Just continue texting. Continue texting. As long as you are spending time, feelings and emotion will start to brew. So be mindful. Be mindful. Thank you so much for that question sent, Des. Okay. Tedri says, I'm usually the one doing it where I, the offender or the offendee. Tedri, I really didn't get this question. Can you retype this question, Tedri, so I can get it? Francis Friday says, how do I bring up feeling neglected in friendship with blaming the person? Now, when it comes to friendship, please, by all means, do not blame. Do not blame. Let me tell you why. Because when you play the blame game, everybody loses, nobody wins. So do not blame. Just bring to their attention what you are feeling. If you are feeling neglected, let them know. See, one of the things that we need to understand with friendship is that there must be communication. You must learn to communicate in your friendship. Say it. Don't keep it to yourself. Say it. Don't think about it. Talk about it. Are you listening to me? Don't think about it. Talk about it. If you feel neglected, let them know you feel neglected using case scenarios where they have neglected you. All right? That's where you're bringing it to their attention. You are not assuming, because like I said, when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. You're not assuming. You're letting them know that I feel neglected. This is what you did that made me feel neglected. And trust me, you definitely have a point to make when you do it that way. But don't blame. Just let them know that I feel neglected in this friendship, and this is what you are doing that makes me feel neglected. And I would be glad if you can make changes. And if you still keep feeling neglected and they keep doing what they do to neglect you, that is your cue to walk away. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Okay. Uh, give me a minute. Give me a minute, guys. I'm back. Okay, yeah. Let me take the next question. Um, how can someone identify when a friendship is no longer healthy but is just comfortable? That's deep. How can you identify when a friendship is no longer healthy but just comfortable? Well, you identify a friendship that's no longer healthy by how you are being treated. Yes, how you are being treated. If they treat you like trash, that's your sign it's no longer healthy. If they treat you like treasure, that's a sign that it's still healthy. So you'll be able to identify a friendship that's no longer healthy but just comfortable by how you are being treated. And I often tell people that we teach people how to treat us, which is true, right? We teach people how to treat us. So when you see that how you have taught them to treat you, they choose not to, but rather to treat you in the direct opposite. There are friends where you tell them that this thing you're doing, I don't like this kind of joke, and yet they still continue to do that joke, which means that they don't see you as a treasure, they see you as trash. So that friendship is no longer healthy. That friendship is just comfortable, and you shouldn't be in a place where it's not healthy, because whatever is not healthy for you is toxic. It's not comfortable, it's toxic. Are you getting this? Whatever is not healthy for you is not comfortable. It is toxic. So find a way to detach yourself from such toxicity. Right? Thank you so much for asking. Somebody say, I hope my emotions are growing as well. Okay. I hope it is. So how well is it to be an emotional friend? How well is it to be an emotional friend? Well, just be a friend that has empathy. Yes, be a friend that has empathy. That helps. Taking cue from our care model, right? Be a friend that has empathy. It shows that you are able to manage your emotions and the emotions of others, right? So be a friend that has empathy. That will make you an emotional friend, because you are able to have emotional intelligence of your emotions and the emotions of others. Okay, someone says like being there for emotional outburst every time. Well, anyone who busts out emotionally every time doesn't have emotional intelligence, because you must be able to manage your emotions. The first part of emotional intelligence is you being able to manage your emotions. So you don't have emotional outbursts. You're able to manage your emotions. That's the first part of emotional intelligence. And then able to manage the emotions of others. So even when there's an outburst from others, you're also able to manage their emotions. Are you getting this? Thank you. How much grace should we give busy friends? Okay, so let me tell you this, Frances Friday. Nobody is too busy. Nobody is too busy. It only depends on where you are on their priority list. Do you get that? Nobody is too busy. It only depends where you are on their priority list. So it's not about giving them grace. That grace you are giving them, they will use it to disgrace. They use it to disgrace you. It's not about giving them grace. Nobody is too busy. It just depends on where they put you on their priority list. They say, do not make people priorities that make you an option. Are you getting this? Don't make someone a priority when that same someone will make you an option. So nobody is too busy. That's the truth. It's hard to believe, it's hard to accept, but nobody is too busy. It only depends where you are placed on their priority list. I hope that answers your question, Frances Friday. Okay. Spelled SXI says, how can someone distinguish loyalty from fear of being alone in a friendship? It's easy to distinguish loyalty from fear from being alone, right? Fear from being alone would make you do anything just to fit in. And I often say this, that if people tell you you only count because you fit in, they should be held accountable for teaching counterfeiting. I'll say that again. If people say you only count because you fit in, they should be held accountable for teaching counterfeiting, right? So you can distinguish between loyalty from the fear of being alone in a friendship. Very easy. Loyalty is somebody that is your ride or die. Come rain, come sunshine, they are with you. That's loyalty. Fear of being alone is because, oh, I'm just trying to do this so that they don't ignore me, so they don't leave me behind. No, that's different. You can be able to see people who are loyal and people who have that fear of being alone. And sometimes, if there's no loyalty, then there's truly no friendship. That's the truth. The same person who has fear of being alone with you will go and be loyal to somebody else. Like that's the saddest part of life. In fact, that's the plot twist of life. The same person who's having the fear of being alone with you is loyal to somebody else. Is loyal to somebody else. So it's easy to distinguish. You see their commitment to you. You see the sacrifice they are making for you. You see the extra mile they are willing to go for you. That's loyalty. The one who has the fear of being alone is doing it when it's only convenient. When it's only convenient. Friendship is not about convenience. You know, I often say this, what are friends for, if not for inconveniences? Are you getting it? What are friends for, if not for inconveniences? Friendship is never about convenience. You can't do friendship from convenience. It's not going to work. Like, could it work? It's not going to work. You can't do friendship from convenience. Friendship is always inconveniencing. That's why it's friendship. That's why it's friendship. And that's why everybody cannot be your friend, because everybody cannot inconvenience themselves for you. The same way you cannot inconvenience yourself for everybody. Are you getting this? Friendship is inconveniencing. Loyalty is inconveniencing. More questions, guys. More questions. Or the few persons who are here, thank you so much for being here. I'll go back to play thoughts while I wait for your questions.
For you, I no go let you go. I no go break your heart. I dey wait for you. For you, see my hand. For you, I no go let you go. I no go break your heart. I dey wait for you. For you. Thoughts. Alone in the confines of my room, besieged by sadness and gloom, round about like a cloak, deep in thoughts, like a pin dropped in the Atlantic, engulfed in so much pain like the thrashing Netherlands made it out on Spain. To what end is this? I begin to sound like Shakespeare, but my heart's been pierced with a sharp spear. The word from a beloved leaves behind nothing but tear and wound, sweet turned sour, all in a split second. And for the records, this wasn't the maiden edition.
Okay, so Francis Friday says, how do I handle jealousy in friendship? How do I handle jealousy in friendship? First off, speak about it. Let your friend know that I've observed this thing that you do. You come off as jealous sometimes, and I don't think this will help us in friendship. So you need to speak about it. When I speak about it, see, it really doesn't make any sense trying to sweep things under the carpet. No, don't sweep things under the carpet. Talk about it. Talk about it. Bring it to light so everybody, so the person you are in the friendship with gets to realize that, oh, this, because sometimes some traits of jealousy that some people even exhibit may be blind spot to them. They don't even know that they are exhibiting jealousy. That's why I told you earlier that anybody who's telling you, when you tell them good news and they are saying God when, that's low budget envy. They may not even know that that's envy. They may just be like, oh, they are just wanting their own too. They are just saying God when. No, but that's low budget envy. You should be happy for those who are genuinely happy. Don't not make it about yourself. I mean, you see situations where you're telling somebody about your problem and then the person starts to tell you about their own problem. Keep your problem to yourself. It's my problem I'm talking about. Your problem, we'll talk about it later. Are you getting this? So, how do you handle jealousy in friendship? Talk about it. Let them know that, see, I've observed this trait. I don't think this is a good trait that you exhibit. You have to deal with it. You have to work on it. So talk about it. Okay, Sendes says, is it possible for a platonic relationship to become a romantic one overnight? Nothing becomes romantic overnight. Nothing becomes romantic overnight. It takes time. It takes time. No platonic relationship becomes romantic relationship overnight. It takes time. Communicating, spend time in being there for one another, spend time in investing your emotions and your feelings into that relationship that has now become a romantic one. No platonic relationship becomes romantic overnight. It is not possible. It doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen anywhere. If a platonic relationship becomes romantic, time has been invested, effort has been put in, emotions have been stirred up. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. So don't believe that story that they say it just happened overnight. It's not true. No platonic relationship becomes a romantic relationship overnight. Nothing. Nothing happens overnight. You know, even the good book says, as long as the earth remains, Genesis 8:22, it says, seed, time, and harvest shall never cease. Seed, then time, then harvest shall never cease. So there's a place of time. There's a place of time. That's why Warren Buffett once says that you cannot get a baby in a month by getting 9 women pregnant. Are you getting this? You cannot get a baby in a month by getting 9 women pregnant. It takes time. Are you getting this? It takes time. So yeah, no platonic relationship becomes romantic overnight. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Thank you for asking, Sendes. Tejiri says, I meant I am usually the one extending the olive branch, whether I am the offender or the offendee. This is in addition to the previous question. Okay, I get it now. Well, you are usually the one reaching out for peace and reconciliation because you value the friendship. That's why. Because if you don't value the friendship, you probably will feel like, I really don't care. But because you value the friendship, whether you are the offended or you are the one who's in the wrong, you go ahead to make apology. You go ahead to fix things. That's because you value the friendship. See, there are no perfect friendship. There will be arguments. There will be conflict. In fact, let me read something that I shared earlier today. Let me read that to you guys so you see it. I said here that a friendship without challenges is likely a friendship without depth. Let me just post this so that you guys can see it. So I don't just read it alone. I hope. Yeah. A friendship without challenges is likely a friendship without depth. Let me see if I can put it on the banner. And oh, it won't take all the space. Okay. Let me just read it out. Let me just read it out because some parts cut off. So a friendship without challenges is likely a friendship without depth. The friction points are not just obstacles. They are the very opportunities to practice loyalty, forgiveness, and growth. The strongest friendships are not the ones that never face storms. They are the ones that learn to navigate them together, and in doing so, they build on unshakable bonds. Do you get that? Right? Do you get that? So, it's very important. A friendship without challenges is likely a friendship without depth. So, the challenges in friendship helps to build the depth in that friendship. So, when I say, "Oh, I have a friend that we have never quarreled," you've not tested that friendship because quarrel helps to test the friendship. Remember when Jesus talked about the 2 men who built, the one who built on the rock and the one who built on the sand? He said the wind came, the storm came, the flood came. Those things will test your friendship. The wind, the storm, the flood. The wind will blow it from the side. The storm will come from on top. The flood will come from under. It will test your friendship. So a friendship without challenges is likely a friendship without depth. The friction points are not just obstacles. They are the very opportunities to practice loyalty, forgiveness, and growth, right? The strongest friendships are not the ones that never face storms. They are the ones that learn to navigate them together, and in so doing, build an unshakable bond. Does that make sense? Yeah, thank you so much for asking your question, Tejiri. Next question says, sir, what's the thin line between outgrowing friends and not being a loyal friend, which is ride or die? Let me tell you this for free. Agbons or Digier. Let me tell you this for free. If your friends are not growing together, they will grow apart. Listen and listen good. If you and your friends, you are not growing together, you will grow apart. So you would outgrow your friends if your friends are not growing. Write that down. You will outgrow your friends if your friends are not growing. Like they say, 20 kids cannot be friends for 20 years. Are you getting this? The reason why that's not possible is because those 20 kids, all of them will not be growing at the same pace. So there is no thin line between outgrowing your friends and being loyal. You can be loyal to them, but you have outgrown them. Right? They are still your friends, but you've outgrown them. Right? Joseph was still friends with the butler, but Joseph was prime minister. Are you getting it? He was still friends with the butler, but he was prime minister. He was still friends with the butler while he was in prison. He was still friends with the butler while he was prime minister. Are you getting this? So you outgrow your friends if your friends are not growing, and that's not a fault of yours. Like I would say, it's not a me problem, it's a you problem. So if they are not growing, you will grow apart. And it's just natural. If both friends are not growing, both friends will grow apart. Thank you so much for that question. Tejiri says, and I feel like this time they should be the one to be the bigger person for once. And I don't want to be the one who always has to be the bigger person. Keep being the bigger person if you truly value the friendship. If you truly value the friendship, keep being the bigger person. But if you choose not to value the friendship anymore, then it's okay. But if you truly value that friendship, keep being the bigger person. Keep being the bigger person. We're all fools for what we truly believe. Keep being the bigger person. Oh, we said they'll start feeling entitled. Well, it happens though. Some people feel entitled. You won't blame them. It's their level of maturity and understanding. You won't blame them, right? But if you value the friendship, keep being the mature person. Try to fix things. Try to fix things. At some point, you will know when to quit the friendship. You will know. That's the truth. At some point, you will know when to quit the friendship. But for now, still keep being the mature person, right? Fix it as long as it still can be fixed. Fix it. Thank you so much for that question. So, more questions, guys. I'm loving this session today. Are you enjoying the conversation, guys? Are you enjoying the conversation? Is it making sense? Well, I know you value the friendship, but you will see if they value it or not. Their actions, like I said, people can't hide effort. Their actions will let you know if they value it as much as you do. But also realize that not everyone will value a thing the same way you value it. Because if you expect them to value it the same way you value it, you will be disappointed. Not everybody will give 100%, right? But if you're expecting them to always give 100%, you'll be disappointed. So you give your best in the friendship. Let them give what they can give. At least they are giving something significant, right? Don't expect them to always give 100% because you are giving 100%. It's not going to work. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. Okay, so I love this question. Why do boys always feel jealous seeing you with a girl? So let me get it. Are you a girl that is being seen with another girl, or you're a girl being seen with another boy and the boys are feeling jealous? I really don't get that question. Can you help reframe that question for me? Why do boys always feel jealous seeing you with a girl? other boys are seeing you as a boy with a girl and they feel jealous. Why would they feel jealous? That's their own insecurity, though. Why would they feel jealous? But can you rephrase that question so I get to understand it better? Saint Dest. Okay, having a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Abimbola. Ask more questions, Abimbola. More questions, please. More questions on mature people or older people. Ask your question, Abimbola. Thank you so much. I was friends with a guy for over 2 years. When he asked me out, I told him I wasn't ready. Since then, we stopped talking. And when we crossed paths, he acts like he doesn't know me. Should I let go? Yes, please, let go. Let go. Let go, let go. Yeah. Sorry about it, but let go. I tell people this: truth hurts, but hurts heal. Right? Truth hurts, but hurts they heal. So let go. He can't take the friendship that did not become relationship. So let it go. Like I said, friendship is by choice, it's not by force. So let it go. Yeah, he asked you out, you say you're not ready. So he has moved on. You too should move on. He has moved on. You too should move on. There's no biggie on this one. Right? Sorry about it, Frances. But life goes on. We'll all be fine. Like you say, local balance. Last, we'll all do all right. Right? We go all do all right. Last. Thank you for asking. If my male friends keep acting up every time I'm with a particular girl, what should I do? Ask your male friends, why are they acting up? Is that they don't like the girl, or there's something about the girl that they know of that they've not told you? Ask them why they're acting up. They're your friends. Ask them. Call them to order. Why are you acting up? Ask your friends, why are they acting up? Are they acting up because they are seeing you with the girl? Or are they acting up because there's something about the girl they know that you don't know? Ask them questions. Why are they acting up? They shouldn't be acting up. Or is it that they too like the girl that you are with? Ask them questions. They should not be acting up. Right? So ask them questions. Please ask them. Is that not like settling when you're the one always trying to fix the relationship? No, you're not settling. You're just showing how much you value the relationship. See, there's a limit to which anybody can take. Really. Everybody have their breaking points. There's a limit to which anybody can take. There's a limit to which people can stoop so low to get things fixed. It gets to a point and they say, if I perish, I perish. I get it. It gets to a point where they say, no, not anymore. It gets to a point where this ends now and it ends here. Right? There's a limit to which anybody can take. So when you're trying to always fix things, not because you are settling, because you are ensuring that you fix the relationship when you can. It gets to a point where you know that this is beyond repair and you let it go completely. Right? So you're not settling. You're just doing the right thing. And it gets to a point where doing the right thing is no longer what is needed. What is needed is for you to completely cut off. So while you are still having the opportunity to still do the right thing to fix things, fix it. It will get to a point where you know that this is beyond repair and it's time to move on. And then you will also move on. So you're not settling. Okay. Are we enjoying the conversation? Is this making sense? So let's listen to thoughts while others are putting their thoughts together to ask their questions. What should you do? What should you do when your parents keep advising you not to make friends, probably because of their own past experiences, dangers of bad friends? Children obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother, because this is the covenant with the promise. Listen to your parents, right? But also realize that your life is not their life, right? Their mistakes should not be projected into your own life. They may have had their challenges and experiences with friends, doesn't mean that that would be your own story. Are you getting this? See, your life is not the part 2 of your parents' life. It is your life, part 1. Are you getting it? So yes, you listen to your parents, you take their advice, but it's still your life, your choices and your decisions. Are you getting this? I'm not saying disregard your parents or disrespect your parents. No, obey them. As scripture says, listen to them. But still realize that it is your life, it is your choice, it is your decisions, right? Your life is not a part two of their life. It is your life, the part one of your life. Because sometimes parents try to project their fears. Parents try to live out their dreams through their kids. Parents try to uh, take their own bad experiences to use as the model for you. But the truth is that that time and this time are two different times. This is the internet and digital age. That was not the internet and the digital age. The kind of friendship we have now is not the kind of friendship we have then. Are you getting it? So we cannot use yesterday's strategy to fight today's battle. We need today's strategy for today's battle. So they may have had their issues with friendship. Doesn't mean you would have your issues with friendship. Are you getting it? So learn to listen to your parents, take their advice, but still realize that this is your life and your choices and your decisions. Does that make sense? Thank you so much for that, Rebecca. Okay. Speaking about adult friends, I always feel secure speaking or sharing things with female being at an adult or same age. Male friend sucks to me. Do I have an issue? Sendex. Okay. Speaking about adult friends, I always feel secure speaking or sharing things with female friends, be it adult or same age. Male friends suck. Why do male friends suck? You should send this. Are you a guy? If you're a guy, you should be on the Young Men with Purpose. We have conversation this afternoon. Let's have that conversation with young men, either on the Heritage Campus group or the Legacy Campus group. We should have that conversation today. You should be able to share with your guys, not only a female friend. You should be able to share with your guys, not only female friends. Oh my gosh. Shoot. Yeah. You should be able to share with your guys, not just female friends, right? Male friends shouldn't suck. No, nah, brotherly. Male friends shouldn't suck. Come on now, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't throw us under the bus. Male friends shouldn't suck. It shouldn't. You see male friendship in scripture. There was David and Jonathan. That's male friendship. Male friends shouldn't suck. Right? Male friends shouldn't suck. Right? Thank you so much. But we'll talk more about this Young Men with Purpose later today. We'll talk more about this. It says, how can a friendship remain peaceful yet be it psychologically damaging? How can friendship be peaceful yet psychologically damaging? No, it can't be peaceful and psychologically damaging. Those two things can't coexist. You can't have peace and chaos at the same time. It can't coexist. Something that is psychologically damaging cannot be peaceful. It's like saying, how can I have fun in a toxic environment? You can't have toxicity and have fun. It's not possible. Now, it may give you the illusion of peace, doesn't mean it is peace. It may give you the illusion of peace, does not mean it is peace. Right? That's a mirage. It's not peace. So you cannot have something that is psychologically damaging. You know what it is for something to be psychologically damaging? It's messing with your mind. You can't have peace with something that's messing with your mind. How do you join Young Men with Purpose on Legacy Campus? So reach out to Maxi Talk. Reach out to Maxi Talk. Right? We're having a conversation later today, I think by 4 to 6 on Google Meet. Having a conversation later today, Young Men with Purpose. So reach out to Maxi Talk. He will add you to the group chat. Yeah. Or reach out to me. I'll add you to the group chat. Reach out to me on DM. I'll add you to the group chat. Okay, so yeah, you can't be in a friendship that is psychologically damaging and have peace. Not possible. It's not possible. Psychologically damaging, you can't have peace. You just cannot have peace. You just cannot have peace. Okay, so more questions, guys. More questions. Thank you so much for your question, Edosa, Rebecca. Thank you for asking. More questions while we play thoughts. I know go let you go. I know go break your heart. I wait for you
Boy, see my head, boy, boy, let you go. I know your heart, I wait for you. Boy, thoughts. Alone in the confines of my room, besieged by sadness and gloom, round about like a cloak, deep in thoughts, like a pin drop the Atlantic, engulfed in so much pain like the thrashing Netherlands made it out on Spain. To what end is this? I begin to sound like Shakespeare, but my heart's been pierced with a sharp spear. The word from a beloved leaves behind nothing but tear and wound, sweet and sour, all in a split second. And for the records, this wasn't the maiden edition. So I wonder, is this real or fiction? They say trust is key, focus is the luck. But this happened again. I guess I ran out of luck. How can it be explained? Like a copied assignment, unexplainable. Memories fade so fast like a chorus. I believe there won't be any more of us. I tried all methods to make it work. I even took it to God. But the more I tried, the more rebellion was apart. This wasn't the path we agreed to walk. Then I realized I had been on this journey alone. You were just there waiting for the right timing to be gone. See my hand, oh yeah, I know that you go. I know go break your heart. I wait for you, oh yeah. See my hand, oh yeah, I know that you go. I know go break your heart. I wait for you, oh yeah.
Okay, so let me pause thoughts and then let me answer this question. So, how do you know when you are the problem? First off, if you're brutally honest with yourself, you will know if you are the problem or if someone else is the problem. Now, it takes a lot of self awareness for you to realize that you may be the problem in this situation. And that shows maturity on your part for you to admit that you are the problem. And if you know you are the problem, then you have to fix yourself. Yes, you have to fix yourself because even if you leave this friendship, you will still take this your problematic self or your gutter behavior self into another friendship. So you have to now fix yourself. Right? So it's a good thing. If you eventually realize that you are the problem, no wahala, then fix yourself. Right? That is you looking at the man in the mirror, right? That is you. You're trying to know, to realize and recognize that, oh, I may have been the one who is causing the issues in the friendship. I realized it, I'm going to work on myself. And even if I cannot fix this friendship anymore, the next friendship I get into, I will do better, knowing that I have realized that I was the problem in the previous friendship. So, yes, it takes a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of growing on your path to realize that you are the problem. And it takes a lot of self awareness to realize that you're the problem. And then you're actually doing what you need to do to fix you. So you become a better person and not become a problem again in your next friendship. So thank you so much for asking that question, Tejiri. More questions, please, while we listen to thoughts.
Perplexed and depressed, I wonder, what have I done wrong? Yes, I admit we sometimes quarrel, even dogs do pick on me. But show me any true friendship without any misunderstanding. I show you a fairy tale that even Walt Disney won't produce as a classic. Back to the statistic. I wish there was a magic fix or a magic wand or a genie or anything to make this pain go away. But alas, the pain in Dracula's voice, this is where I'm gonna stay. You wanted her. You're getting this. They say time heals all wounds, but this pain seems to last forever. I wish I never had to go through this. This is just me and my thoughts, hoping that it is not real. My heart is so hurt. It seems like I forgot it yet. They say it may just be a blessing in disguise, and for me to become wise, all in my thoughts. But this pain I truly feel hurts. Truth sometimes hurts. Hurts always heal with time. Can't believe I am a fool again. But we are all fools to what we truly believe in thoughts. Time seems to stand still, like when in the void of thinking or
Okay, so I'll come back to plain thoughts again. But let me answer this question. It says, is avoiding conflict more important than addressing discomfort? In true friendship, you don't avoid conflict. You don't avoid conflict. Conflict is part of the things that help to strengthen the friendship. So you don't avoid conflict, right? In friendship, we should quarrel. Quarrel is part of the package. We should quarrel. We should have conflicts. But how we resolve the conflict is what shows that we value the friendship. So avoiding conflict is not important. It's not important. You should not be avoiding conflict. You should be addressing the discomfort that is causing the conflict, not avoiding. You should be addressing the discomfort that is causing the conflict because there's something that is leading to conflict. We need to address it, not avoid having conflict. Avoidance is not what you should be doing in friendship. You should be facing conflict and dealing with it head on. Don't avoidance. Are you getting this? Don't do avoidance. Avoiding conflict is not more important than addressing the discomfort. Address the discomfort, take on the conflict head on, and resolve it amicably. Like they say, we disagree to agree. Are you getting this? We disagree to agree. So we have conflict. So at the end of the conflict, our bonds are strengthened. Our bonds is deeper after the conflict. Are you getting it? So we should not be avoiding conflict. No, we should address the discomfort that is causing the conflict, not avoid it. Avoiding conflict is trying to sweep the matter under the rug. And see, when you sweep matters under the rug, you are building up resentment over time. Because one day the person will eventually outburst. Then they start to list all the things that they have been keep sweeping under the rug since. So don't avoid conflict. Don't. Address the discomfort that is bringing the conflict. Don't avoid it. Sender says, what does it mean to not get reply on WhatsApp, but she always smile and wave whenever we meet physically? You should listen to Deceit. You should go and listen to Deceit. Senders. You should listen to Deceit. I've shared the link already. Go and play Thoughts and Deceit. It will help you. But let me just tell you this. If she doesn't reply you on WhatsApp, you are not a priority. You're not a priority. So, sorry. That just tells you what you need to know. You're not a priority. And somebody who doesn't see you as a priority will never treat you as one. Are you getting it? If she doesn't see you as a priority, she will not treat you as a priority. So, it's okay to just count your losses. It hurts, but it is what it is. Right? It is what it is. Yeah. Said this. He really likes the girl, but it's okay. It doesn't look like the girl really likes him back, but it's okay. We learn all the time. Let's go back to our thoughts. More questions, guys.
Seems to notice. So I can get them alone. I don't 911, but I'm placed on hold. Excruciating pain I'm told. This is crazy. But guess it's what I deserve for misplaced priority. See my life. For you. See my life. In retrospect, never flaunt what is not certified as yours. Because it is not the love that sustains the promise, but the promise that sustains the love. I'm lost in thoughts who will rescue me. I am lost in thoughts. He said, come to me, because of you I went to the cross. No one will love you like me without a clause. So stop the thoughts. I always long for your heart. Come to me, and I will give you rest and end your thoughts. Not every loss is a loss. I love you. Never forget that. Let me feel your thoughts. Because for you, everything, I pay the cost. See my hand falling. I know let you go. I know break for you. See my I know break your heart.
I don't let my lesson know.
Everyone laughed at the joke, and they sat down enjoying their coke with their name on it.
Okay, speaking of deceits, Sender says, is it deceit to plan how you talk and react to the girl you like? Maybe in the hopes of getting a stable relationship out of it, it is deceit. See, guys, Senders, I hope you join the Young Men with Purpose group chat so that we can have more brotherly conversations. Don't try to be who you are not just to get someone's attention because it's not sustainable. Because if people don't like you for who you are, they will not like you for who you are not. Are you getting it? If people don't like you for who you are, they will not like you for who you are not. So don't try to be who you are not in a way to get someone's attention. It is deceit. It is deceit. And if you have listened to the piece on deceit, don't become like Vera. Don't become like Vera. Yeah, so that's it. It's deceit.
But it's fake. Deceit. Everyone laughed at the joke. And they sat there.
Okay, so Junior says, sir, what if you have a friend who is free to express himself or herself online, but is shy to express themselves in public? You see why we say people should not be living in this online world. That online world does not exist. Anybody who's free to express themselves online and shy to express themselves in public, probably the person is just not free with you because online is not real. That's the truth. Online is not real. People can say anything online. It's when they meet you physically and they show that same affection or connection to you physically, that's where you can trust it. You can't trust what happens online, on chats, on voice calls, on voice note. You can't trust that. So if the person is free to express himself or herself online and then is shy to express themselves in public, they really are not into you. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Let's not kid ourselves around it. That's just the truth. Nobody will be free with you online and then suddenly shy of you in public. No, that's deceit. That's deceit, right? Yeah, Tejiri says, yes, the conversation is making sense. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that feedback. Thank you so very much for that. Is talking too much bad for friendship? Please, limit your talk now. Why are you talking too much? You know, even the scripture says, a fool, when he keeps quiet, is considered to be wise. Don't talk too much. Talk when it's necessary. Don't talk too much. Don't talk too much. It's not good. It's not talking too much is gutter behavior. Don't talk too much. Respect yourself to talk when necessary. Don't talk too much. Yeah, thank you. You're enjoying the conversation. Thank you so very much. Conversation is making sense. Let's ask more questions. We have less than 20 more minutes left. Let's ask more questions.
Enjoying their coke with their name on it. But his face had turned pale and like Hulk when the rage had subsided. How could this have happened? As they had all planned and arranged. Social media on standby to take it viral. Oh no. The only word he could mutter. You see, Mary had been in her for up since year one. Even when he hadn't approached her yet, from a distance, he loved her. Up close, he adored her. Yet, he never summoned the courage to woo her. By twist of fate, she faced submitting her assignment late. Their path crossed on the hallway was the beginning of what he felt was pain. Everything from then on revolved around her.
That was the beginning of a disastrous era. Oh, see this seed, now where I did, where you leave me, oh. See this seed, now where I did, I don't learn my lesson, oh.
He was needy. Vera was needy.
Okay, we'll come back to the seat. Let's take more questions. I don't think so. It shows that you are comfortable enough with the person, I think. Well, you can be comfortable online and be uncomfortable offline. It doesn't add up. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Probably that's the Gen Z thing that I don't understand, Sha. But there's no way you can be comfortable online and uncomfortable offline. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. In my own sincere observation, that doesn't add up. It doesn't. It doesn't add up. Please. It says, what if you don't know what to talk about during the conversation? That's why you should be reading. Please read. You will know what to talk about. Read. Expand your mind. Read. Right? Read. You will know what to talk about. Read. Don't be on TikTok alone or on Instagram. Read. Get a book. Read. You know what to talk about. You know what to have conversations on. Right? Read. It helps expand your mind. So please read. Don't say you don't have what to talk about. Go and read. Carry a book and read. Yes, that expands your mind. It helps the quality of your conversations when you read. Do you get that? So yeah. Is it bad not to trust a friend fully? How would you have friends that you don't trust? Why would you have friends? What is friendship without trust? Say someone is your friend is saying that this person can take a bullet for you. So how can you not trust somebody that can take a bullet for you? Say someone is your friend is saying that this person can give their life for you. So how can you not trust somebody who can give their life for you? There's no friendship without trust. That's the truth. There's no friendship without trust. And trust has no expiring date. I always say this, trust until you have no reason to trust. And even at that, still trust. Trust is for your benefit, not for them. Because when you cannot trust, you go about doubting everybody around you. So trust is for your own good, not even for them. So it is bad to not trust your friendship fully. It is bad. It is bad. It is bad. Thank you for asking. More questions. We have like less than 20 minutes to go.
Combining both quite a multitask. Yes. All he wanted was for her to pass. He encouraged her. The best in her. Into God's hands. Her name, he had engraved in stone, kept it on Mount Everest, so his heart could be at rest. His, she wrote on sand by the seashore. That's the beauty of this beat. Abracadabra of deja vu. We can realize that he's a big fool. The more you look, the less you see. He saw a future. She saw a picture. Congratulations, it is over. They say like a virus. Deadly as an HIV Ebola. Emotionally transmitted, feelings contracted, only known cure is forgiveness vaccine and moving on my sin. I wouldn't blame her. She was only 21. Her world was just beginning to blossom, and like a rose under the dew, she planned her eviction before his rent was due. So after their last paper, he got the text. Life has been great with you, but the world awaits. All the best. You were a great friend. Take care. He thought it was a wrong number. One of these network texts, but the number was saved as Vera Boom. Now left like that, oblivious of what to do. It dawned on him, like at the moment when you realized that the last guy in the house, it dawned on him. You only know who you love. You don't know who loves you. Why if Vera was the one? Vera had brought another someone. The gods are not to blame. Things do fall apart. There won't be half of the yellow sun. Poor Matthew kick his son. Just experience the sting of deceit and the pang of neglect he can't reject. Firsthand, not from Delilah, but from Vera. So my advice is simple. Heartbreak never killed anyone, so love again, but be wise, not to experience a second time. Deceit, because this is not just it. You may have been Spain or Brazil, but don't let the pain kill your zeal or your regrets. Just lessons learned. See, what I why you leave me? Why you see? Why you see? You leave me? See, I don't know.
Well, Sendes, stalking is a gutter behavior. Yes, gutter behavior. Don't stalk anyone. Don't stalk anyone. It's a gutter behavior. Don't be a stalker. Don't stalk anybody. Don't, please. It's a gutter behavior. It is not gentlemanly in any shape or form. Stalking is a gutter behavior. Please don't stalk anybody. Don't. You can get to know them by observing them, but don't be stalking them. Right? They will brand you. They will brand you as a stalker. Don't stalk them. Let them be. You can ask questions about them. You can find out things about them, but don't be stalking them. Right? Don't stalk anyone, please. It's gutter behavior. Yes, and we should not be exhibiting gutter behavior. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so Sendek said, so I started making friends this year. Before that, they were just talk mates, but I still felt for the reason I never wanted to make friends. It changed a lot of my personality. It was nice, Sha. I'm glad you're making friends, right? Because trust me, we need friends. We do need friends. So it's okay that you're making friends. And trust me, there are some changes you would have in your life as a result of the friends that you make, right? So friendship, like scripture says, iron sharpens iron, so every man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So your friend is supposed to sharpen you up. Your friend is supposed to make you better and not bitter, right? So it's okay when you're making friends and you're changing some of your personality because of the friendship. It's okay, right? It's okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Tedri says, no, sir. I mean, talking too much might mean you are comfortable enough with the person, and in that comfortability, you might tend to overtalk or share. Well, like I said, don't talk too much. I said that already. Don't talk too much. Don't talk too much. Say what is absolutely needed. Don't talk too much, because when you talk too much, you end up oversharing what you should not even share in the first place. So don't talk too much. Okay, Francis Friday says, how do I respond when a friend belittles me for not joining their lifestyle, partying, clubbing, and so on? She keeps calling me boring and also a bad woman. Well, those people should not be your friends. You see, when it comes to friendship, your values should align. You can have friends that are going to the club, that are partying, and so on, and they are belittling you because you don't join them. Your values don't align. Right? They will have their own kind of friends that will go to club and will be partying and all of that. You are not that kind of person. So you must check your values alignment. Do our values align? Do they have principles that I also have? Right? That's what makes friendship. It's about value alignment. Your values don't align. They go to club, you don't go to club. They like partying, you don't like partying. Your values and priorities don't align. So you should not be friends with such people. You can be acquaintance, hi and bye. Now they say this, that sometimes the biggest mistake we make is to become friends with people who should have just said hi and bye to. I get it. The biggest mistake we make sometimes is that we become friends with people who should have just greet and pass. Don't become friends with people whose values and principles don't align with yours. It will be a mismatch. Are you getting it? And it will not work. It's like trying to mix water and oil. It will never mix. Have you tried it? After this, go and try it. Get a bowl of water, get oil, put the oil in the water and try to mix it. It will never mix. So friends that their values and their goals and their principles don't align is like water in oil. It would never mix. So don't have such friends. It won't help you. It won't help you. Sentex says, how bad is it that you haven't been in a relationship like a romantic one from birth till now? Because I have people like peers giving me their well look when I say it. Sendex, it is not bad. You are just waiting for the right person. It's not bad, right? It is not bad. That's why you need to have the right kind of circle. They shouldn't be making you feel less of yourself because you've not been in a relationship since birth. Relationship is not a criteria for anything in this life. Are you getting? It's not a criteria for it's not a criteria for greatness. It's not. In all honesty, it's not. Right? So you shouldn't feel bad that you have never been in a romantic relationship from birth till now. The time will come. Now it's just not the time. So Sendex, please don't feel bad. And you may need to dissociate yourself from friends who make you feel bad that you have not been in a romantic relationship. Now let me tell you this. People who are doing the wrong things will want to make you join them to do the wrong things because it's easier to be like them, but they cannot be like you. They can't be like you, but it's easier to be like them. So don't get pressured about that. Don't get pressured about it. Is that okay? Thank you for asking. Okay, so what am I meant to expect from a friendship? Because sometimes I feel like I expect too much. Okay, give me some of the expectations you have. Let me know if you expect too much. Please, give me some of the expectations you have. Like I told you, the care model is the basic expectation for friendship. Basic. There must be consistency. There must be availability. There must be responsibility. There must be empathy. That is the basic expectation in any friendship. Any friendship that cannot give that is not friendship at all. Any friendship that cannot give consistency, any friendship that cannot give availability, any friendship that cannot give responsibility, any friendship that cannot give empathy is not friendship. I don't know what it is, but it's not friendship. Right? So you're not expecting too much. You are just expecting the basics. And the basics is the care model. C-A-R-E. C-A-R-E. Consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. Those are basic expectations in friendship. Basic. So you're not expecting too much. You're just expecting the basics. Right? So we're almost out of time because I have another interview session by 12. So let's begin to wrap this up. So how was this session for you? Put it in the comment. How was the session for you? We were not much in this session, and I love it because people were able to really share from their heart, and I appreciate that. And if you haven't listened to, so that's the link that's the link for Deceit and A Thoughtful Deceit, my EP that just came out. Please download, please listen. It will help you. Please do that. It will help you. Thank you so very much. That's the EP that's out now. Fanlink.tv, A Thoughtful Deceit. Check out it on Spotify, on YouTube Music, on all streaming platforms, right? Fanlink.tv, all streaming platforms. It has the link for the piece, the EP that is just out now. Thank you so very much. Someone says, I mostly have only one expectation, which is always be there when I need to talk. That's availability. I don't like being snubbed because it breaks my heart. I told you availability. That's why I said that care model just is the basic expectation. So I want to use this opportunity to also invite you to join the live stream by 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'll share the link, right? My personal live stream where I'm going to be talking about friendship that lasts, right? I'm going to tell you more about the care model later today. Friendship that lasts. So I encourage you to join that session by 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. today on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, on the Upgrade Mastery Just For You with the Mr. Upgrade Global on YouTube. Search for Mr. Upgrade Global. You will see that channel and you subscribe and turn on post notification. We're going to have this conversation in details. I'm going to be teaching this evening by 7 to 8 p.m. on friendship that lasts, right? Thank you so much for joining. And again, that's the link to the EP that just came out today. Please listen, please stream, please share. Let the message go out, right? Thank you so much. So this is my favorite session. Oh, thank you so much for joining. This is a special session, though. Thank you so much for joining. Someone says, Sir, you are really my mentor. I'm enjoying the conversation and learning a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frances Friday, for joining. Thank you so much for your kind words. What's my handle? My Spotify handle, Osage Alex. That's my Spotify handle. That's for the EP. The EP handle is Osage Alex on Spotify. Just look for Osage Alex on Spotify. You can also put it on your music on Instagram. Just type Osage Alex and the 2 tracks will drop for music. If you want to make a post on Instagram, you can also use it as music to post on your Instagram. Just put the word out there. Just spread the word out there for the EP. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. We love you. We love you, sir. I love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, session was nice. So just give me feedback. How was the session for you while we begin to wrap this up for today? Like I said, go download the EP, listen, share, right? And give me your feedback. I like to hear your feedback about it, right? Give me your feedback about it, right? Give me your feedback about the EP. I like to hear what you say about it. Session was nice. Give me feedback on the session. I want to hear feedback on this session too. How was the session for you? Okay, the session was nice. Thank you. The session was very calming and informative. I really enjoyed it. And it was like a friend group picnic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it. Bimbo, clock it, clock it. Omona, clock it. I love it. I love it. It was like a friend group picnic. Yeah? We were just few here and we really spoke from our heart. And I love it, right? I think from time to time we should have sessions like this. We're not bringing in the crowd, just us talking to ourselves and learning and unlearning and relearning, right? I really appreciate every one of you who showed up for this session. Thank you so much for not leaving me to be alone here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And this is where I get to officially say Merry Christmas to you. By this time next week is Boxing Day. And by this time next week, we're already in the new year. So Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year in advance. Enjoy the season. Christ is the reason for the season. So Christmas without Christ is just another mass, you know, and that's the spoken word. Christmas without Christ is just another mass. So don't lose focus of the essence of the celebration. It's about Christ. It's Christ's birthday. It's not your birthday. It's Christ's birthday. So don't go and oblate. Don't go and oblate. Oh. Focus on Christ. Focus on Christ. Have a great time with your family. And please read your book because you're coming back to do your first semester exams when you resume. So please read. Take out time to read and get yourself ready for exams. And if you're in final year, please take out time to yeah, this is not final year session, but if you know people are in final year, encourage them to read more because their project, their seminar, and all of those things are going to come for them when they resume. So please encourage yourself to read, encourage yourself to do what you need to do, and don't just go and oblate this season. No, don't oblate this season. Focus on Christ, right? Thank you for the session. Settled many of my questions on having friends. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the session in the evening. I'll also share the link on the group chat. Look forward to seeing the session in the evening. This evening, we're going to be having Friendship That Lasts, right? With Mr. Upgrade on the Mr. Upgrade Global channel on YouTube. We're going to be having that session this evening. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. So we'll have a great time together, right? Yeah, Merry Christmas too. Sendes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. We might need a session on how to focus in school. Okay, yeah, we may need to do that, right? Okay. If you guys want that, we'll probably put a time for that one, how to focus on school. We'll do that in January, right? After the first L300 session, or we'll merge it with the first L300 session in January, because there's a session in January that's also coming up. I want to put that out so you guys be the first to also see that session coming up in January for L300 so that you get yourself ready. Yeah, that session in January is Plan Your Year. It's the first session we always have at the beginning of the year. And yeah, that's the session. It's coming in January 3rd, right? We'll begin with Plan Your Year. So get ready for this session, the same session in 2026, where we get to talk about Plan Your Year, right? And then we can just include this question that St. Des asks how to focus in school. We'll include it to this session on Plan Your Year. So remind your people, remind your friends, remind your colleagues. This continues. Yeah, 8 people watching. Yes, just 8 people. It's not crowd, just 8 people, and it's cool. It's cool. We're not complaining. It's okay. I love the picnic style that we had today. Just few persons, but the few persons had an amazing experience and they loved the session. So, guys, thank you so very much for being here, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Be I the fruit of faith, that fame spread far and wide. With hearts of joy, we sing of peace, stand firm in truth and honesty. Gold and white for excellence, academics with godliness, building leaders, all in faith for all endeavors. The future holds, forward we go in good faith. God is our help, our guide, we shall never fail. Forward we go in good faith. God is our help, our guide, we shall never fail.